Welcome back to Call Me By Your Game, the podcast where I, your host Connor McCabe, bring on a guest to hear from them about a meaningful or memorable video game from a particular moment in their life. This is a podcast normally about what makes video games special to different people. I guess that's not the part that's changing about that. I sort of put the emphasis in a really weird spot. Today, we are doing a special edition of the show, which I don't think I've done for 8 months or so, or 7 or 8 months. I used to do this format a lot more frequently, but I don't know what. I think I'm off my game, guys. But today, for episode 269, we are going to be hearing from three past guests about their top 10 favorite games of all time. This is edition 11 of this format. And I'm really excited to get into it. A little bit of housekeeping before we bring in our guests is that if you want to support the show and find out more about us, check us out at patreon.com/super NPC Radio, which is a place where you can find bonus video game podcasts from me and Mr. Jeremy Schmidt, who produces this show. And it's you can also hop in at the free tier if you just want to hop in the Discord and talk to people about video games. Or let's find a channel here that I'll pick at random. Oh, you could hop into the Meme Hee Hee channel. Yes, that is the title of the channel if you want to talk about memes in our Discord. But again, many ways to support us over at patreon.com/super NPC Radio. But that's going to do it for the housekeeping. I want to get these guests in here because we got a lot to do today, folks. First and foremost, of our first three guests, I always do that on these and then it makes it weird for everybody else, who made his debut on episode 176, where he discussed Space Station Silicon Valley. It's Ryan Creamer. Ryan, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited for this.
You are so gosh darn welcome, pal. That was your debut on the show. It was back in 2023. You know, listeners, they know our lore of our friendship. We met because our mutual friend Teo Yang brought us to, say he brought us as if he's our dad, but we went to the who could resist going to the Game Awards music concert at the Hollywood Bowl in the summer of 2023 to listen to the man Jeff Keighley say anything. But that's how we met. And dude, quickly after that, we're talking video games, and you've been on two other episodes of the podcast. You were on two co-op episodes where we discussed Psychonauts 1 and then 2 the next year, and of course talked about the documentary a bunch. I kind of just monologued at you, but you've been on the show a few times, and it's good to have you back.
I can confirm all of that is true, and it's good to
Huge.
be here. We also heard Jack Black sing a song from the Mario movie at that concert.
Wow.
Yes, we did. That actually acts as a great transition. The Mario movie. Who might I think of when I think of that movie? It's none other than guest originally from episode 39, where he brought on Donkey Kong Country 2. It's Alec Robbins. Alec, welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having me. And of course, you're referencing a birthday party where I rented out a theater to watch the Mario movie, and nobody liked it, and it was a really weird mood after the movie.
What?
And one friend told me that his girlfriend broke up with him the next day,
No, and they
and
were both
cited,
there?
and yeah, they were there and cited the fact that all of his friends went to see a kids movie in a theater together as one of the reasons.
That's crazy.
First of
That's
all,
wild. Is that real?
That's all.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I will
Fuck.
at no point in my life defend that movie. What I will say is that despite disliking it strongly, I had an amazing time for your birthday. It was honestly the best
Thank
way to
you.
watch that was with friends
That's true.
in
Yeah.
that theater, I think. And two, I think she's the problem, not your friend.
No, it was very funny.
Yeah.
He was like, "Look, it's cool. Don't worry. I'm just telling you this because it's funny."
Yeah, it's actually like,
That's
thank you
so
for helping
funny.
us figure this out.
Was he crying when as he was saying
Yeah,
it
he was
funny?
crying. He was in pain. Yeah.
Alec, it's so great to have you back, buddy. You've actually been on a ton of episodes on the show, mostly of the co-op variety. The first one you were on, I was doing a little snooping earlier on the Patreon. You were first on co-op episode 5, where we discussed Shadow of the Colossus, which
That's what's up. That's
Dude,
a good one.
been about
Very
5 years since we've done that. And
Wow, God.
and sorry, go ahead.
I was just surprised that
Yeah.
it's been that time has passed. That's all.
Time passing always surprises me. You've been on plenty of our like FromSoft episodes as well. All the ones that Jeremy's hosted for me. You've discussed I think the original Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, I think as recently as last
Yeah,
year.
I remember that.
Uh, you're no stranger to the pod, but it's great to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
Here's a great question for you. How have you been?
I've been good. Life is great, and the world is great around it.
Wow. You know what? I feel that way about life. There's something else about the world that I'm just not sure if I can give a thumbs up to. But, buddy, good to have you. It's always a joy to talk video games. But we've got one more person I've got to introduce. Someone who made his debut on episode 72, where we discussed Planescape Torment. It's Chuck Ma. Chuck, welcome back.
Hello. How's it going?
Chuck, I'm doing great. And guess what, buddy? I am sitting here in a pile of shame at this moment. I'll let you interpret that however you want, but shame because I'm looking at my list of past appearances, and this is the first time I've asked you back since your debut. I have one question for you, and that's what's wrong with me?
I think you just don't like me very much.
Okay. I was hoping you might actually be like, no, don't
Um,
worry about it, Connor. But I guess, you're
that's
pointing out.
Occam's razor. He gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you really did. Well, only
No.
incentive to have you back for, especially after we talk today and I get a look at your top 10 favorite games of all time list. I'm going to get an idea of even more genres that you enjoy and just and this is me making a promise that I'll never have to fulfill, but I will, which is, buddy,
Okay.
I got to have you back. But hey, you're here
Oh,
for the
I would
top
love
10
to.
games of all time series. So I guess I'm thrilled about that.
Super. The pleasure is all mine. Very happy to be here.
Wow. What a gentleman. Before we go around and I just give you for the impossible task of listing your top 10 favorite games of all time, I'm going to start this episode out or sort of, have a little preamble to that by recapping my personal top video games of all time. At a certain point during this 11-part series, I was just listing this relatively the same 10 games ever, so I expanded it and I forced myself to make my top 20 list, which
Whoa.
I gave a real hard look today, and nothing moved off the list and nothing moved on to it, but there was shifting. So I'm just going to recap this as fast as I can. The viewers at home, if you're watching the YouTube version of the show, you can see what I'm doing here. You can see the list already, but um I'll go from 20 on through number 1.
The
Number
classic
20,
order.
absolute classic order. Number 20 on my list is Fable, the original Fable. I technically played the Lost Chapters, so that was the one for me. We have so Fable's 20 as I'm like trying to fix something on the stream. Fable is 20. Number 19, one of the more recent games on this list, Alan Wake 2.
Oh.
Number
Oh.
18, the point and click adventure. I think Ryan and I have discussed this before. Grim Fandango is number
Hell
18
yeah.
on my list. Number 17 is Metroid Dread, sort of my only Metroidvania representative here, which there's something weird about that for me. I like that genre. Number 16 is Mother 3. Number 15 is the original Metal Gear Solid. Number 14 is Mario Kart DS, my personal favorite in the series. Number 13 is Halo Combat Evolved. Number 12 is Chrono Trigger. Number 11, Super Mario World. After listing those 3 games in a row, people out there are like, gosh, this is the most basic list I've ever heard. And it's going to continue that way because number 10 of all time for me is Ocarina of Time. Number 9 is Skyrim. Number 8 is Shadow of the Colossus. Number 7 is Portal 2. Number 6, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Number 5, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Number 4, Pokemon Silver. Number 3 is Backyard Baseball 2001. Number 2, Super Mario 64. And still, tied at the top of my list is 1B, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and 1A, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I also cheat, and so it's basically 21 games. But that's a recap, folks. The diehards out there, they know that there's been some shifting there. It's minor games that have just moved up hairs of spots, and it really doesn't matter at all.
I'm cataloging it all. I've got my spreadsheets
Thank you,
open.
thank you. So yeah, maybe someday in the future, the list is going to change in a substantial way, but we'll see. Um,
Has Backyard Baseball ever gone down the rankings?
I don't believe it has. I believe it's always. I could be wrong about that, Ryan, but I think it's always been like
Damn
top
right.
3 for me.
Love that.
Yeah.
Look, I love that game. That is the craziest pick on the list to me, and I respect it. Respect it greatly.
That's a huge
Pablo
respect for me.
Sanchez forever, but yeah.
Yes. Just
I
one
just
of
haven't I
those.
haven't revisited it, and I can't fathom
It
it's
rocks.
is okay, all
It's
right.
still
Maybe I'm
good.
just crazy.
I will say, as someone with heavy nostalgia for it, it does, in my eyes, still hold up in a significant way. It's still so fun to play. It was designed really well, even though you're just using a mouse for this children's sports
Hmm.
game.
I played it a lot. Yeah, I loved
Yeah.
it. So I mean, I can't really argue.
It's they've been re-releasing these on Steam because a new company owns it and is coming out with new media for it, Alex. So if you ever get
Hmm.
curious, Steam's got a little answer for you.
They age up the kids in real time. Like Pablo's like 40 now.
Yeah, there's a few degenerates. Several kids have unfortunately passed away. Most of them
Several.
live with their parents.
You said that their kids passed away, so while they were still kids. So they died very early in the franchise.
Yeah, which is very sad. Um, let's go around. I'm going to start this now, folks. In fact, as I sort of adjust our little order on screen to reflect everyone is right by their names on the. For those of you watching it on Twitch or on the YouTube version at home, the people will be the people. These guests will be right by their lists. We are going to begin with someone who's got some unconventional stuff coming for us today. We're beginning with Ryan Creamer. Ryan, do you need to explain yourself before we jump in?
I sure do. I know this is a please list your top 10 sort of game situation, but I kind of went a different way where I decided to do something crazy. And I honestly had this idea and I'm like, wow, this is so fun. And what the idea is for whatever reason, my friend group, the topic of what is your favorite fruit comes up with a decent amount of regularity.
Decent amount.
What did you say?
A decent amount.
Maybe it's
Often?
like a social tick of mine where I'm like, oh, what's your favorite fruit? But what I find in that is that very often when people say their favorite thing, they name like a peach or something that's in season for a certain amount of time and is really good in that time.
Okay, sure.
But like a banana is the most purchased fruit of all time, and it's the most eaten fruit that I have. But it would be crazy if I said my favorite fruit was a banana. Is this making sense?
It's
So
making sense, yeah.
basically, I have a list of my top 5 peaches and my top 5 bananas. And bananas being games like I would play this every day for the rest of my life.
Yes.
It's just got sort of and a peach is more of a game like this hit me at the right time in my life. It really was
Sure.
super meaningful, but I probably will not revisit it, sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah,
I love
that's
that. I
great.
think that's
pretty
a cool
cool.
way to divvy it up.
Okay, cool.
I want to do that now. Give me like 4 hours to
Give you
rethink
4 hours.
this.
Or Ryan, before you lead off for us too, I will say this is something that it just comes up a lot on this episode because people come in being like, am I supposed to list the best games of all time in my eyes? Are they my favorite? And it's kind of up to interpretation. So I'm really thrilled that we're going to hear your top 5 peaches and bananas. And buddy, what are we starting with here? What's the first
I
number
think
5?
because it is always fun to end with one, I'll go my 5 peaches, and then my next pick will be 5 bananas.
Okay, great.
Okay. My 5 peaches, and I will say 5 for both these, are a bit of a strawberry or a peach banana smoothie. It's a bit of both.
You don't
as the
throw a
fi-
third fruit in there. I'm going to get confused.
It's a bit of both.
Okay, cool.
But my 5 for peaches is Skate 3. And
Whoa.
Oh,
Skate 3, I played Nintendo games growing up, and so going to college was really my first genuinely like I'm holding an Xbox controller and playing
Okay.
Xbox games, and I felt a little late to the Call of Duties and like the staples of the genre.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the dorm that I lived in freshman year, Skate 3, I think came out the same year. And it was the perfect, like, you're in a dorm with a bunch of boys just picking up between classes, like, kind of vibey game, throw on a Spotify playlist. It feels so good to play, like the stick movement of it, which almost made me put it as a banana because I'm like, man, it just feels good to play every time. But
wait,
because
is this banana or peach? I'm sorry, I'm a little.
this is a peach, but
Okay.
it's a little bit of both, to be totally honest.
Okay.
But it's more peach
Your
because
system's already falling
Yeah, you need a
apart.
third list. What's like an Apple list? Yeah.
it's gonna get more peachy as things go. But yeah, it's such a nice time in my life. It really is like, oh, I really played this game exclusively at college with friends, and it means a lot to me because of them.
Awesome. Dude, Skate 3. I mean, if you would have asked me before this pod, I would have been like, yeah, that's a peach for sure. I know what that means. I've never been brave enough to try the Skate franchise. If I were to try one, would you recommend this or a different entry as like a someone who is gonna try to rewire their brain from the Tony Hawk series?
Oh, interesting. I mean, there's currently one out that's free, and it mechanic wise is I think the same. It's not really
Okay,
I've played it, but I had a reckoning with like, okay, maybe this is just a time in my life where this
sure.
is really awesome
Yeah.
because it's not like I'm loving the new skate game or anything. But it's free, so I feel like the mechanics of it, if you want to try it out, that's the way to do it.
Okay, awesome. I'm also noticing right now, I don't know why this didn't come up immediately, that there's some sort of podcast synergy with, this podcast being essentially the name is a ripoff of Call Me by Your Name, the movie, and then you've brought up this whole Peaches category. This feels like a long time coming.
And these
Um,
are the games that I
And
want to
speaking of
fuck.
coming and peaches,
Speaking of coming, Chuck, you're up next, buddy. Um,
Okay.
why don't you start with your number 10, Chuck? What's your 10th favorite game of all time?
Okay, so this is kind of I would say like a pair game. Like if it like on my list, it's a pair. It's it's Dino Brothers 2. It's a Sega Genesis game that no one I know has ever played before,
Daiga?
but
Like Daiga?
no, Dyna Brothers.
oh, I know this one.
You
Okay.
know it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dino Brothers
Dino
2, the
Bros.
second one. And it's on my top 10 because I
What?
haven't even beat this game, but I played it when I was like really young at my friend's place. And I didn't have a Sega Genesis, but
Yeah.
I would make excuses to go to my friend's place just to play this game. And I was not very good at it. I didn't understand the game mechanics back then, but it's really fun. You play as kind of it's kind of like a almost it's like almost like a strategy game,
Okay.
but it's really weird. It's a really strange game, but you play as dinosaurs, and the campaign is you're fighting a alien group of dinosaurs that come to Earth, and you're this like little egg that can birth like little stegosauruses that like eat plants, and as you eat plants, you gain points, and you can use those points to create bigger and better dinosaurs. But
Oh
you
my
can't control your
goodness.
units at all. And if or you can, but it costs like points and it's
Uh-huh.
very limited. So they kind of just like wander around. It's almost like an AFK game where like you kind of like reign in certain areas and then the dinosaurs eat the grass. It's like really, really strange, but I really
Whoa.
liked it as a kid. I would say go check it out if you guys want like a retro Japanese weird kind of strategy game
Th-
if you want to take a look.
it's just not very often where someone brings on something that I truly had no idea existed, but I'm watching gameplay right now, and man, what a pick.
It's really weird, and
There's,
it's not probably not a good game, but it just
yeah,
has like a soft place in my heart because I like liked it so much when I was young.
Was it
yeah.
also specifically a game that you only played at friend's house?
Yes,
Yeah,
That's a good genre. Yeah.
yeah,
really good.
I couldn't afford a Sega Genesis at the time. It was like the fancy console, you know. I just
Yeah.
had the red and white Japanese console.
Mm.
I don't know if they had it here in the States, but yeah, it was like too expensive for me to get, so I would just play it at my friend's place all the time.
Yeah, that's great.
And
A friends
Alec,
game
you're
like
aware of
that, you
this?
always yeah, I've never played it. I've literally just heard the title. That is all. That is my
Yeah.
extent. I have no history with the game. But I was gonna say, like, yeah, like the game that a friend has that you don't have any way of playing develops such a
Yeah.
mystique over time. You think about it so much more than some of the games you actually play.
Totally.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
because you have so little time with it. And
You
then
build it
when
up, yeah.
you build it up and you're like, oh my God, next time I go over to my friend's place, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. And we went and there is a PvP. There's like a you can like play against your friend, just like take turns instead
Mhm.
of like playing at the same time. But I just was like had so much fun with it as a kid and just like became this like kind of like soft spot in my heart. I never tried to play it again. I might now if there's like a good emulator or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brothers 2
Hell yeah.
Dyna
is the game.
Brothers 2. That's amazing. What a perfect 10th list, 10th entry on a list. Alec, we're turning to you. What is your number 10?
All right, this is the only annoying thing I'm gonna do the whole time. But
I can't
Only?
wait.
my number 10 is a tie
Yes.
between over 10 games. So let's see if you can catch
The
the
theme?
shared element, the
Yes, okay.
theme. So my number 10 favorite game of all time is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 / Donkey Kong Country 2 / Metal Gear Solid 2 / Mega Man 2 / Mega Man X2 / Mega Man Zero 2 / Mega Man Battle Network 2 / Mega Man Legends 2 / Burnout 2 / Portal 2 / Dark Souls 2 / Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
So
So is
technically, I think we have 12 tied for your number
Yeah,
10.
it's literally just my honorable mention list, and I turned it all
Yes.
into the number 10. And actually, it's not really my honorable mention list because at a certain point, I'm just like, what's another funny 2 game to put in there?
yeah, it seems like
So
you just really like sequels. It's your number 10 is
yeah,
just all sequels.
I this is not a good decision on my part to do it this way. I've done it. I'll devote time only to Tony Hawk, I think, because that was originally the real number 10. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, just a fun game to play.
Yes.
There's really it's like it's got an edge to it that some of those like Western devs at the time, like you got Mortal Kombat being a little like we're naughty, we got blood, and then you had Tony Hawk like, yeah, we got a skeleton you can unlock. We got a cop who chases you, like it was mischievous, but it's also just
Yeah.
got some nice core gameplay, like getting into the zone and putting a string together, some grinds, some manuals, some lip tricks. You can do it all, man. I can play that game over and over and over again, and I have.
I love
Uh,
it. This is technically, we got a tie on number 10, but we have
Hmm.
two skateboarding games
I was
featured
about to
as
say.
Yeah.
people's first entries, though, guess the way I'll put it. Chuck, were you going to say something?
yeah, sorry. I just wanted to say like it's one of the first games that I've played like that like you felt like flow state in, if that makes
Oh,
Yes,
sense.
exactly.
Like you like as a
Which I
kid you're
really
like,
value.
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, I'm really like doing it. Like, you kind of like enter a different kind of mode. It was the first time I ever felt it was with like a skateboarding game. I think it was
It's
Tony Hawk, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a marvel because it's like it's easy to pick up. The appeal is immediate. Like if you like skateboarding, it's a pretty like successful translation of what real skateboard like it's the same way like any like NFL Blitz is kind of what football is, even though it's a video game. Like you immediately get it from that angle, but then it's also this mechanically deep and rewarding system where like easy to play, tough to master, and the better you get at it, the more it's like a fighting game. You're like learning how to take advantage of the course and keep a trick going and get a combo. Like, God, it's a deep game. It's a deep game
Yeah.
for what it is. And they
It,
invented that genre basically.
it's also cool thinking about it because, like, as a kid, it's one of the first times I, as a game, was like, how do I like prioritize the things I need to do so I can do like 3 things in a run? You know what I mean?
Yes. No, I love
It's
that. Like when you knock out like 4 in one go, you're like, oh yeah.
totally.
And
100%.
yeah, I don't know. There's just so much there. And like I said, it feels like they invented something. It's kind of a 3D platformer. It's kind of a
Yeah.
sports game. I think of it as like part of the lineage of Mario 64, where it's what if you can't stop. I mean, it's kind of built with the same ethos as Mario 64. There's a level you drop into with like 10 goals, but they've kind of tweaked it. It's great.
Yeah. And one was great. I've played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 to death. I ran that
Hmm.
game into the ground, but there was something about 2, which maybe is something that a lot of these sequels have in common, which is it solidified itself as not just a fantastic sort of take on a game, but it really it just iterated so well, and like it just added a couple elements that one didn't have that I think took it above and beyond of the experience you could really have with one.
And I think it added manuals, if I'm
Yeah.
right, which
Hmm.
is like that really tied it all together. Literally,
Yeah.
it changed it all.
100%. Great entry for your number 10. A tie between 12 games, but Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 is
It's
the one
Tony
we're
Hawk.
highlighting.
Yeah.
Were you were
Pristine,
you so
goofy.
relieved that your 10-way tie followed the fact that I introduced my peaches and bananas system?
Thank you. Thank you for taking some of the heat off of me.
Yeah,
That's
no problem.
incredible. Before we swing back around, or we're going to swing back around, but Alec, we're going to stay with you and
Okay.
get your number 9.
Perfect. I love this. My number nine is Cave Story.
Ooh.
So, really wanted, there's a couple indie games on this list, but this is to me the indie game. It was free on PC at a time when like the thought of just a guy making a game and getting everyone in the world to play it, it was kind of foreign, like a single developer.
Hmm.
So I think from that angle, it really blew my mind. Like, oh my God, anyone could make a game. And then on top of that, it's maybe the best feeling 2D platformer I've ever played. Something
Wow.
about the ability to shoot down and it kind of like propels you a little bit. There's that game Downwell that kind of like riffed on that a little bit as more of an arcade setup, but what a mechanic where you can just get all these different weapons that let you like blast downward and you can hover a little bit as you do it. And it's got like a secret ending that you can, if you look, you never figured out on your own, but like there's like a bridge you can jump over. And if you do that, you can unlock this like true ending with a whole bunch of extra hard levels. Great, great game, great writing, great characters, great art design. I'm in love with that game.
This game came out in like originally like 2006 or something, right? Like as you were
Yeah.
saying, kind of days where indies in at least what we would come to understand as like an indie game at the time was one of the first, rather. At
It was
least it
like
was like in the
pre the
zeitgeist.
Xbox Live Arcade rush
Hmm.
of indie games. It was before like Super Meat Boy and all that. And Braid. It was like I don't know how it was probably like 6 years before that, to be honest. If I'm maybe not that long, but yeah, like just some Japanese developer who I guess translated it into English. That's how I was able to play it. Maybe
Yeah.
a fan did that. I don't remember. And then I think he got screwed over because some publisher bought the rights, and now you have to buy the game, and it's I don't know, kind of a mess, but that's how it
Dang.
goes.
Did you play on
Uh,
the Xbox, you said?
No, it was just I was just bringing that up because I think the Xbox Live Arcade era was sort of the
Oh,
indie
yeah, yeah,
game
yeah.
rush, and this predated that.
Gotcha,
This
gotcha.
was I
Yeah.
just played this on the computer with a keyboard.
Cool.
Awesome.
gosh, Cave Story, number 9. That's awesome. Chuck, we're back to you, buddy. What's yours?
Okay, number 9 is Metal Gear Solid, the original was my number
Okay.
9. Yeah. Just because it's the game that introduced me to stealth games in general. And I got so obsessed with like doing it perfectly where I was like, I'm never gonna get caught. And if I get caught, I'm gonna start over until I can. I don't even know if there was like an achievement or anything with that. I just didn't like the feeling of getting caught. So I remember even as I think I was in high school at the time, I would like count. Like if there was like a guard past me, okay, I would count and I'll be like, okay, so it's like 7 seconds every time he passes
Wow.
me. This person is like this is 5 seconds for this like person to pass, and then like all the cameras and stuff. And I was just like so into just like not being seen. And then later I played like Thief and like, like all these like other like Assassin's Creed that like had like stealth elements. So it was the window into it. And then the Mantis fight, I think it
Oh, the
was,
Psycho
where
Mantis.
Psycho
Psycho
Mantis.
Mantis was like such a core memory of mine, like breaking the fourth wall, like having to like spoiler swap into like the
Hmm.
second player
Whoa. Oh,
controller.
that's how you do it? Oh my God.
Oh man, Alec, no, you beat it without doing that? That's crazy. But yeah, just like I thought it was just like such a like fun game, and because it like unlocked like the stealth games in general for me, it's up there on number 9.
Yeah, this is one that you heard it was on my list, and but I didn't play it growing up. I didn't even like touch this game until about 2019, but I didn't play through it for a few years after that, and I may have just been a sucker, but everything about it hit so well for me, much later than it was actually released. So, but I love here, but I think most people that I talk to experienced it at around when it came out, rather.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say,
I
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I played it. This is so funny because I always wanted to play it. I didn't have a PlayStation, and they put out the GameCube one. There was a remake,
Oh,
Yes.
The
I
Twin
remember this.
Snakes, and I did not understand at the time that it was a fundamentally remade version. It was not Metal Gear Solid. It was like a completely new take on it, where you have the camera of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, and I don't know. I played maybe like 30 minutes of that, and I was like, it wasn't quite hitting, and I looked it up and I realized it wasn't the same game, and I'm like, never
Uh-huh.
mind. I bought this game, I own it, I won't play it until one day I'm able to play the original. And I didn't play the original till like 5 years later.
Whoa.
But it's on my list. I'm actually going to bump it off. I'm going to swap it out now
What?
Ooh.
because I'd rather talk about something else. But
Sure.
I do want to say
Uh,
it was on my list. Uh, and I do think it's a perfect game. Like, it is probably the best paced video game of all time. Every hour of that game, you're doing something completely different than the last hour, and they're constantly throwing new mechanics and new gameplay twists at you. There's systems that have been there the whole game that they keep like refreshing, and actually you can do this with that now, and there's a secret. If you have this item here, you can actually make the dogs smell this, and you'll be able to get through this without them attacking. Like, there's so many little tiny details that it became this fun thing to talk to other people about. Like, did you know you could do this in that game? And all of it was true. It was like the playground rumor video
oh
game.
yeah, absolutely. It's almost like in fighting games when you figure out how to do like Hadouken or something,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, did you know like Ryu has this like thing you have to enter this to go in? Is that has that same kind of quality where you the next day you're with your friends and you're excited to share like the thing you figured out. But
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Which is
sorry for
something I think is
hijacking yours a little bit,
no, no,
but
no,
yeah.
absolutely. No, thank you. Thank you for hijacking it. I had nothing else to say. But yeah, it was one of my favorite games, one of the first games that I think like just like powered through. Just like I'm just this is the only game I'm playing for this like amount of time, and I'm not gonna play any other game until I beat this game type of game. So yeah, really liked it.
Number 9 for Chuck. Well, Ryan, we're back to you. I believe you're going to list your number fourth, your four peach, your peach.
No, Connor, couldn't
That's
be
still
simpler.
five.
It couldn't be simpler. I'm doing my five banana.
Oh, of course.
Five and a
That is
five
on
B.
me.
All right, yeah, this is also sort of a peach banana smoothie in that I would play this, I think, regularly, but I no longer have the hardware to. Um, but you know how like they talk about your SNL, like your favorite years of SNL were when you were a teenager or like when you watched it. To
Hmm.
me, there has to be a video game that gets like this. I'm so glad I was a teenager when this game came out, and it's Guitar Hero 3.
Oh, hell
It's
yeah.
truly like if you go to any Dave and Buster's or an arcade, there you have to wait to play this game. Like it is still good, and it's like everyone just like 3 years went by and they're like, we should probably sell the fucking drum kit in our
Yeah.
basement, right? Like everyone got rid of it, but it's so good. Like it's also one of the first games where I'm like, if I'm good enough at this, maybe a girl will make out with me. Like it tricked me into thinking that I was being fucking cool when it's like obviously not. But it did, as far as video games go, make me be like,
Oh
I'm
man.
fucking awesome.
Oh no.
That
You're
is
right
so
that
good.
it's such a bygone era type of game because it's just not available. Like, I mean, nobody kept their guitars. And the thought of
No,
playing it, I would love to play it again right now.
that's
And
the thing.
just putting it together seems insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, it might be Rock Band if I did that, but that was a step too far. Like, that was sort of definitely a friend's house sort of thing. But yeah, man, I loved playing Guitar Hero 3. It was so fun.
Dude, it's not on my list, but I agree. I think it's a super fun game. I remember in college there was a like a time a few months where I would wake up in the morning and just play Freebird on Guitar Hero. I'd be like, I would wake up, I would play
Yes.
Freebird, then eat breakfast, and then go to class. That was like my
Treating it like your
routine.
brain, like a brain training exercise, a daily
Yeah,
Sudoku.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
that's awesome.
God, I love that. This happened to be the one I spent the most time with, Ryan. I got it on the Wii, I think for like my 17th birthday or
Yes,
something. I think you had
sir.
to put your Wiimote in the guitar
Oh my
too,
God.
Oh,
which is the
Yes, you
way to
did.
do it. But
that's
Do you
Yeah.
right.
remember they did a Guitar Hero DS that had like an
yes.
add-on for the DS that had the button attachments?
Oh, I did not know that. That's so
It's,
funny.
I'm sure it sucked. I don't know how you would have really done it, but
Yeah.
that's such a funny peripheral.
Ah. Well, Ryan, that was your fifth banana pick. Where do
Hmm.
you want to go from here? Because we're back to you for another pick.
Whoa.
Is
Let
it
me go
Peach Four?
Peach 4. Peach 4.
He's four.
Um, this I don't play anymore, and I really associate with like this rocked because the summer it came out. I lived in New York. I worked a fucking digital media writing fake ass job. And it was the summer in New York that Pokemon Go came out. And
Oh,
New York City playing Pokemon Go was genuinely, I'm like, video games are magic. Like I'm meeting strangers in Central Park. There was this such a fun energy. Like everyone was fucking so hyped about it because it also wasn't a type of game that existed. I definitely was more formative playing the original Pokemon games, but this was the most one of the most unique video game experiences I ever had. I feel like I was in the best city for what it was designed for.
gosh, it.
Yeah, what a time.
I can't imagine playing that there. Like it must have been even more magical because everything feels more dense to me in New York. It was it. I'll just tell you, Ryan. It was also popping out here in LA.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Everybody
I'm
was
sure.
doing that. It was like
My main
disruptive in a fun way.
my main memory of Pokemon Go is driving with my friend in the car, and while I was driving, I was tapping to collect Pokego stations or whatever. And my friend's like, "You got to stop doing that. You got to focus on the road."
That is so good. Chuck,
That
go
was
ahead.
such
Sorry.
a that was there was I was it was like I was like world peace is possible. Like, I was
Yes,
Yes.
that's exactly what it
like,
was. That's exactly how I
uh,
felt.
it was yeah, it was I remember like walking just like I wasn't we didn't have I lived in like I think Orange County at the time, so we didn't have no one hung out. So like it's like everything's so far apart. You don't really know your neighbors. But I remember going to like this small park next to my like neighborhood and just like meeting just like random people of all ages just like waiting, being like, oh, what do they have here? Like what kind of and just like
Yes.
talking about it. It was just like such a crazy moment in
I
I think history.
I
Yeah.
I have a specific memory that I hold very dearly, which was I was at a Mets game at Citi Field, and there was a fucking lick-a-tongue at the Citi Field, and I was so psyched I didn't have it. And then literally, I'm like trying to catch it. My phone dies in the process, and a kid behind me goes, "Bah!"
Oh my God.
It was awesome.
That's
Ah,
very
See, I'm
funny.
such a Scrooge because I'm like, yeah, we all played a game together, but that game wasn't interesting mechanically.
No,
Such,
you're very
such
Listen,
an
good.
I'm
asshole.
not gonna disagree with that. Like, I certainly won't disagree with that, but it really felt like, oh, there's not been a gaming
No, you're
experience
so
like
right.
this in my life.
America's
yes.
never been more united, honestly.
It
That's
was
the most
the
united we've ever been.
it was right before everything went to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, because things were good for everyone before that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, that
They were
is
better.
awesome. Yeah. Uh, yeah, Pokemon Go, that was your fourth peach pick, and I will have you know on the stream, I literally have them listed as your bananas and peaches and
Hell
1 through 5. So I'm doing this justice.
yeah.
Chuck, we're back to you for number 8.
All right, number 8 for me is Bust a Groove. You guys remember this game?
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never played
Yeah.
it.
Bust a Groove, it's like a rhythm game with like dancers that would dance it. I specifically resonated with this because when I started playing it was like also when I started dancing as
incredible.
in real life. So like I remember I think his name was Heat was one of the characters. He was like a b-boy-esque character, and that's like what I was doing at the time. So like I like would copy his moves. Like,
Ah, that
I'd be like, oh, I bet
rules.
I could do that. Like, so and then I became a dancer later on in life, so it was like kind of like one of those games that like just came along at the right time.
Yeah.
And me and my friends played it so much, and yeah, just because it in line with like my hobbies in real life, and just it was like such a coincidence. I was like, whoa, right when I'm learning how to dance, like it's just yeah, yeah. So like Buster Groove is up there at number 8.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. I'm watching some gameplay of it right now. And did you play it out like it was like the PlayStation era, right? Original
Yeah, it was
PlayStation?
PlayStation. Yeah,
Yeah.
original PlayStation era.
Gosh, I'm watching these 3D models really bust a groove.
They looked so great back
Yeah.
then. You're like, they can't get better than this. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
I'll say for PlayStation 1, this does look pretty good.
Not
This could
bad.
pass as PS2 if you told me. Um, that's
Uh,
amazing, Chuck. Your number 8, Bust a Groove. Yeah, I
oh, can
love hearing
I
that it's in time. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
really
Sorry.
quickly, Chuck? Can I ask? Do you have an opinion on like the Just Dance games? Do you think?
Oh,
Uh,
I like Just Dance games. I have friends who are the models for them.
no
Like,
way. That's
yeah,
Oh,
Whoa.
sick.
yeah. So like, but yeah, I think they're great. I
I was
don't.
just curious.
Yeah, just I think they're fun. They pay their dancers, which is awesome.
Oh, that's great to hear.
And that's good to hear. And
The
this in
Mario
this
the Mario games do not pay their dancers.
No, they do not. Only game pays their dancers. But yeah, I think they're super fun. I didn't get super into them, but I think they're great for normal people who want to move a little bit and get down.
and Chuck, forgive me. You've been talking about how you've been a dancer for a while, but specifically, if you don't mind talking about it, or like at least saying it, you were on, I always forget, was it So You Think You Can Dance or America's Best Dance Crew?
I was on America's Best Dance Crew for a
Okay.
season, yeah, back in the day when my bones didn't hurt as much.
And your team
Um,
was
instant noodles.
Oh yeah.
incredible. Nothing better.
I gotta look up some of these vids. I gotta see this.
I'm
I think
sure
we
there's
all
some.
have homework after this, and it's to watch every instant
I'm
noodles
writing all
video.
these down, the ones I haven't played.
Number 8 for you was Bust a Groove. Alec, we're back to you for number 8.
Okay, I'll keep the rhythm game trend going
Ooh.
Oh
Oh, hell
shit.
yeah.
because my pick is Rhythm Heaven.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh,
3DS?
love that. So there's I like them all. I like every single one of these. But my specific favorite is the DS one, which I think it's an expanded version of the Game Boy Advance one, which never came out over here. So this is the first one that came out in the US. And it was very touchscreen heavy, but it really might as well have just been the A button because all you're doing is tapping and holding
Yeah.
to the beat. It's a very simple game. In fact, it's like WarioWare and by I think the same team, and designed basically around just one button. Um, but it's really, really funny and strange and inventive. Like part of what I love about it is how surprising it is and how you open up a new mini game. It's like, okay, this one's a wrestler nodding. Actually, that's from the Wii one, but still like this one I'm putting together machine parts on an assembly line. Okay, this one now I'm a guy in a choir class and I'm trying to sing in time with the other players. It's really challenging and very simple, which is you'll see that's a trend. I love that. I love like a simple game that has some depth to it. Um, it's and above all, just fucking funny. I don't know. I think it's like a real treat to play. It brings a smile to my face from the second I start to the second I finish. It's great.
Do you recommend playing a touchscreen one? Like, did that feel good?
Yeah, I think that's a
Okay.
great way to play it. That one's perfect. There's the 3DS one, which I think may be a best, like, I think it counts as a best of compilation. Like it kind
Okay.
of pulls together a lot of different mini games from the other entries. And there's a new one coming out on the Switch next year, which I'm sure will be great. They've really never made a bad one. The Wii one is also extremely good. That might edge out the DS one for me
Okay.
in some ways.
And there's a new one or a re-release coming out for the Switch consoles next year, I believe.
Connor, I'm going to tell you something. I said that just a second ago.
And could you tell that at that time, Alec, I was buzzing in DoorDash for my girlfriend?
In retrospect, that couldn't be more clear to me.
Yes. I am so sorry to do that to you, but did you
I,
know that that's happening?
Answer
I
him.
did, and I couldn't be more excited. They've been radio
Incredible.
silent about it for the last like 9 months. I'm like, just give me a
Yeah.
day, give me a release day,
Was
something.
anyone really worried about me for a second? Were they like, "Oh God, is he about to like just explode on this episode?" Um,
I was trying to balance like I wanted to say it without being mean at all,
yes,
but we had
you
to
really
we
took
had
a
to
second to
acknowledge
do
it.
it. I'm so sorry. I'm also looking forward to a little ramen later. Alec, anything else you want to say about Rhythm Heaven before you give us your number 7?
Just play them, buy the
Awesome.
Switch one. They need to make more of these, and they need your support because it's a dying franchise. Every new game feels like it's going to be the last.
Ah, beautiful. Well, let's hear that 7 then.
Okay, so seven was going to be Metal Gear Solid.
Oh,
I bumped it
Oh,
for another game that I wanted to include because there's no other FromSoft representation on my list. and they're one of my favorite developers. So I'm going to talk about Bloodborne,
Oh,
Ooh.
which to me is a toss up between Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1, which like Dark Souls 1 has the perfect Metroidvania style map design grafted on top of, these FromSoft like Dark Souls style games. But Bloodborne to me is like kind of the pinnacle of it. It's Dark Souls 1 but expanded and
Hmm.
with its own fresh lore. Um, it's a game that when I first played it, I just like Dark Souls, I could not figure it out. I wanted to. Everything about it was so appealing to me, and I loved what it was asking of me, but I could not rise to the challenge. And then over the course of years, I would keep returning to it and get further every time. And then eventually it clicked, and now I can beat any FromSoft game no trouble. But like the journey to get there was so worthwhile. Um, and God, there's nothing else like them. I know they're maybe a little oversaturated now with Elden Ring, and now they're starting to worry people with some online service games. But like at the end of the day, they're just like incredible games. The level design alone is unmatched. Then like the combat and the boss fights is world class in its own right. There's so much going for them, and narratively, like I didn't even mention that. Like it's so novel the way that they tell their stories. I feel like people have talked about Bloodborne to such length that I don't even need to say anything, but it's a very special game to me.
absolutely.
Amazing. Well, great. That was your number seven. Chuck, we'll turn to you for yours.
My number seven is Halo 3.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Specifically the campaign mode, actually. I think
Ah.
I really enjoyed, again, something that I did in college. When Halo 3 came out, I remember, I think I lived in like a house with a bunch of dudes, and we got all our televisions, all these extra televisions from friends, and put them in like into like the living room, and had multiple people playing Halo at the same time. I think one of us, we went on like just like no sleep and just tried to beat the campaign all the way through, just like
Wow.
in one go, as little sleep as possible. But it was fun. And then and then the the last level, the Warthog run,
Oh yeah.
right? It's like so I guess legendary. Like it's like people remember it because it was like so fun. But yeah, really Halo 3 just because of college and the camaraderie, and it was like so fun. It was such a hype like title back then.
That may be, I think that if I had to say, I think that might be the best game in the series, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, it's just absolutely incredible as a full package.
Yeah.
Okay. Halo 3 for your number seven. Ryan, I believe we're on Banana 4.
You're catching on so quickly.
Connor's
Uh,
figured it out. He's cracked the code.
Yes.
my Banana 4 will come as no surprise to Connor or listeners of episodes I've been here in the past, and it is Psychonauts.
All right.
Good.
I played this probably 7 years after it came out. A friend was like, "You have to play this game." Um, I think it's the first time in a game where I'm like, this is very funny. And I think level design as going into people's brains, like I was a little disappointed with Psychonauts 2. The reason this is banana to me is if like daily they were, or not daily, but if they made like regular installments of here is a level, you go into someone's brain and you learn about their history by like doing finding a vault, like I thought that was so awesome. Like it's maybe not mechanically the best designed like whatever experience, but creatively I'm like it's bursting at the seams. It's so fun, and I think it handles like subject matter that is maybe like a little mental health stuff in the first one. I thought it was just like really interesting way to do it for a game. I love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of those in a totally different way than Metal Gear Solid that I discovered just over a decade after it came out, and also kind of like you, just fell in love with the sort of collection of elements that make that game what it is, from the humor to the platforming to the world design and all that. Yeah, Psychonauts, great. Go listen to our co-op episode, folks. It's on the Patreon, but it's also going to come out for free next year at
Hell
some
yeah.
point. And I think I think there's a video version that's already out for free on YouTube. But yeah, incredible.
Did you ever see the movie based on Psychonauts?
No, what is it?
They
Inception.
made a
Inception.
movie?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
You know what? I
I've heard of
sure
that
did
movie.
see that. Yeah. Uh, Gosh, that's great.
It's like an
Cool.
indie movie, right?
Yeah, really
Small scale
small.
movie.
I think
Yeah.
so. Some people got their start acting in that one.
Yeah.
Ryan, that was your number 4 banana, but I think we're sticking with you for your number 3 peach.
Yes, sir. My number
Okay.
three, Peach. I feel like film lovers, or definitely like the Academy, always like favor movies about film. And this is a game that I like hit me at the right time, and it I think benefits from playing a lifetime of games because it feels like it's about playing games, and that is Undertale.
Oh.
Oh.
I always have to throw two in my list are made by like one or two people. I feel like that also deserves like this is like auteur fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, um, simply just had never played anything like it. I think the way it talks about how we make decisions in games just blew me away. I had never seen that sort of done in a game before, which I'm sure, not breaking new ground, but I think it's just so awesome.
That should be on my list. I fucked up. But like I want to echo with what you're saying about choices. Like it came at a time like post BioShock Infinite, which was such a cynical game about how choices in games are never interesting
Yeah.
and don't matter. And then along comes Undertale, and it's like actually they can matter so much that they'll make you cry. And
Yeah.
like I don't know, it's one thing to make a game about sparing all the enemies. It's another thing to design it so that you could actually play through the entire thing, killing them all. Because now the choice actually has some weight to it, since you could literally be doing the opposite. Like it really like Spec Ops: The Line or something, or a game that's kind of chiding you like you had no choice, you were doing all these awful things because you're a gamer. Um, it doesn't hit as hard when you could have actually played it
Yeah.
in the way it's saying you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Gosh, incredible entry here. Have you played this? And if this is going to get into other stuff on your list, just feel free to ignore the question. Have you dabbled with other Toby Fox's other work?
I have not. My brother has recommended. It's like come out in like installments, right? Like,
You should play Deltarune. I think it's only 4 chapters in right now, but it's a great time to play it.
all
Like
right.
each chapter, I think altogether right now it's longer than Undertale is, so it's
Oh,
not like
wow.
you're playing a piecemeal game.
Okay, I would definitely check it out.
Check it out.
Awesome. Well, that was, I mean, the listener at home, they're keeping up. That was Ryan's third Peach game. Moving back to Chuck for Chuck, your number 6.
All right, number 6, Tekken Tag Tournament.
Ooh.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of my list is just like nostalgia.
Nothing wrong with
Tekken Tag
that.
was probably the only fighting. Well, no, there's another fighting game on this list, but one of the only fighting games that I like got pretty good at, like decent. Never got to a point where I was like playing in competitions, but I think Tekken Tag, I played Lei Wulong in it, was one of my main characters, which is kind of like a weird character, and I think it like was the first time that I like, oh, I like playing kind of off the like meta basically, I guess, like characters, and I played him I like learned none of his combos, but like I just like played him how I felt, and I did pretty good, but it was just one of those games that like was very competitive amongst friends, and you would pretend you didn't practice, but you would secretly practice. And then every sleepover, you'd be like, "Oh, I don't know, just figured this thing out, today." When you've been like working on it, like you've been playing like the whole week just to like beat your one friend. But yeah, that's a Tekken Tag tournament for number 6, 5.
Yeah,
What
number
is it?
6. Have you been
Yeah.
back to this game in a while? We didn't play it at Fighting Night, the most recent Fight Night, did we?
No, we did not. I haven't played Tekken in
Okay.
ages. But if you have another fight night and you want to
Dude, we're
throw
gonna
on
have to throw
Tekken,
it on there.
yeah,
I
an
really
old school
connect.
one.
I connect with the go picking off meta character. There's something in my psychology.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I'm very much the same.
I really like it. I think it's like there's something about you feel kind of like the underdog,
Yes.
and you're like
Mhm.
forced to figure out how to like do it in the like kind of like off-road kind of way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I play a lot of my games that way, I think, and it was just like super fun and it told me something about myself.
Awesome. That was your number six Tekken Tag Tournament. Alec, we are back with you for number six.
Okay, my number six, easy, obvious choice. It is the only Zelda game on my list. It is my favorite Zelda game, Link's Awakening.
Awesome.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
And I wanna be specific, the Game Boy one. I played
oh,
DX, so I played the Game Boy Color version. I think I actually had both the original and that one as a kid. I think as far as Zelda games go, it's got the best sense of humor. I think it really informed my taste in games and my style of writing. And it's also just so when you take Zelda and condense its DNA down to a little screen and it's all tile based, like it's like Link to the Past, but even more condensed. I think you really get to the distilled essence of what makes a Zelda game tick. Each screen I really love a screen-based game. Like each screen is interesting in its own right. Just getting from point A to point B in one little shot of the Game Boy, and deciding which direction to go, and then mapping out the screens into one big map in your head. Like I think it's never been done better. Um, I really, really love it. And there's so many like cute little details too. I loved like at the time you could connect a Game Boy camera to it and this mouse would take pictures of you and then you could print off
all
the
right.
images
Yeah.
Yeah, I
uh
remember.
and you could make faces during it. So like you could change your pictures a little bit. And then of course like one of the craziest things in that game is there's a shop and you can steal something from the shop. And then if you do, I've never seen a game do this before. Um, they would permanently scar your save file by changing your name to Thief. And then
Oh,
anytime you went back in, the shopkeeper would kill you. You could never use the shop again. So it's like, I don't know, that's a crazy hostile move that I don't think even like Breath of the Wild era Nintendo would be brave enough to do. That's a strange and mean choice in a game that's like, I don't know, it's supposed to just be the core Zelda, and it's not only like the weirdest Zelda, maybe barring Majora's Mask, but it also feels the most like Zelda. I don't know. That's such a like a core game to me.
I like it. I think stealing is illegal and no one should do it.
Yeah. And that's the lesson I learned.
What a
And
spectacular
yeah.
title. One that you and I have also talked about. It's been a
Mhm.
while, but we covered it in the Zelda Games Club that we did in 2021. In this was one that I also slightly prefer the Game Boy version. I think I remember texting you that and being like, he's gonna like that. I like this too. But
Yes. Well, I want to
just
add like the
yeah,
remake is good. I don't
yeah,
really have a problem with it. I just think if you have a choice, you should try playing the original because
totally.
I think it was designed for a tiny screen and it's kind of amazing. Like part of the joy at the time was what they fit onto a Game Boy cartridge. It felt so much bigger than any other Game Boy game until like Pokemon came around or something. It
Hmm.
was huge.
Yeah, it's absolutely spectacular, very meaningful title. I love that it's on your list. I was hoping it would be today. We're gonna stay with you though for your number five.
Great, let me remember what that is. Okay, hell yeah. We're talking fighting games. So
Oh, nice.
this is the only two on my list that I didn't include in the jokey
Okay.
top 10. Um, Capcom versus SNK2,
Oh,
Ah,
which you'll see behind me. I bought an arcade machine recently and it was a Street Fighter 2 branded machine and I have been slowly customizing it to be
wow.
Capcom versus SNK2. Like I had changed the marquee up there.
whoa.
Whoa,
And I even
cool.
Sick.
I bought a new control panel and found some new old stock of an old actual vinyl that you would
Oh
place
my
over.
God.
And
Wow.
I cut out all the holes for the buttons and wired them through. So currently I'm really going through a phase with it.
Dude.
I'm revisiting it.
Cool.
They put it out this year on that Capcom Fighting Collection 2
All right.
release, and that was like the first kernel of me going like, God, I love this game. Like how did I not play it for like I forgot about it for some years. It's like to me it feels like it's the celebration of an entire era of arcade games. And I don't know how well versed you are in SNK games. Like I know everyone knows Street Fighter. I think a lot of Americans were a little less privy to King of Fighters and Fatal Fury and all that.
I loved King of Fighters.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I was a big fan of King of Fighters, so
King of
I'm
Fighters,
with you.
coolest thing in the world. Like I think the character designs are like heads and shoulders above Street Fighter, and they're like a little more boring at first glance. They're all a little more grounded. Their designs are more rooted in fashion than like Street Fighter's like, here's a big muscle guy, here's a wrestler that's like 40 feet tall, here's Cammy in her like skin tight outfit. Like it's more like Iori's got like pants with a belt loop connecting his legs. Like really,
Yeah, they
really
have like cool
strange.
jackets. Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah.
The defining thing of King of Fighters, they all have cool jackets.
I mean, seriously.
No, yeah, for real. And they always like as an artist, as like a character designer, um, I have always been so impressed with the SNK character design school of thought. And this game to me is like, well, in that era, Capcom and SNK were sort of they were in interplay with each other. Like Dan in Street Fighter is a parody of Ryo from Art of Fighting, which is a parody of Ryu from Street Fighter. Like they're constantly making jokes at each other throughout their games, and then this is one where against all odds with Capcom versus SNK, and then the sequel, they decided to team up and put their entire rosters against each other in a game that felt like, oh my God, this is the 90s. It was all leading up to this. And then after that, 2D fighters kind of died for a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that last hurrah of an era. It's probably not the most accessible fighting game. You have to pick three characters, which means you have to learn three characters. You have to kind of know SNK characters to care. But if you put some time into it, it's one of the coolest fighting games ever made.
That's awesome. Well, I know I said the next fight night we're going to play Tekken Tag Tournament. We're actually just all going to go over to the room you're in right there and play on that
Please,
arcade cabinet.
anytime. I wanna get some hours on this with some friends.
That's awesome. Well, that was your number 5, Alec. Chuck, we're already back to you for
Oh,
yours.
awesome. Okay, my number 5 is StarCraft Brood War.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nice.
going for a PC game. Yeah, I played this game. Another game I played a lot in high school. Uh, at the PC Bong or PC Cafe. But at the time when I started, it was like early, so PC cafes didn't really get nice yet. They were like under like it was like under like a pool hall, and like really sketchy. Like no windows. Like you would start playing, and then it's daytime. You'd leave, and it's like really dark. But I got super into the first StarCraft, and then when Brood War came out, improved on every aspect of StarCraft One,
Wow.
and I followed all the competitions in Korea. Like I had like my favorite players like Boxer and Yellow and like all these like old school StarCraft players that I followed, Flash that came later on. But yeah, I love the game. I played a ton with my friends. I was like okay at it. I wasn't like super good at it, but it's another one of those games where I think for me at least that you could get into a flow state because you really
Mm.
have to kind of like you have like you're doing so many things at once that like at some point your brain just like kind of there's so many things in your brain that are just like automatic that you're just like doing it that it was when you're playing really well and you're micro managing well and your macro is good too. It feels like pretty incredible.
And Ch Chuck, for me, is Brood War like an additional campaign that was released for the original? How does this
Yes.
work? Yeah.
It's an
So it
expansion,
was
yeah.
Okay.
it's an expansion, a full expansion set, but additional campaign and like a lot additional units
Okay.
too. It like StarCraft 1 was like pretty good, but Brood War felt like way more balanced in a sense. Like there are things that they introduced that just like made things feel for certain races feel better.
Were the
there were
Protoss in the original or were they added in Brood War?
Oh, no, they were in the original.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
But no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's the lore is also insane. But the like Terrans got medics, just like things that like staples of the game
Yeah,
that you
that's
think
crazy
about
that they
now.
didn't have medics originally.
It's crazy because you had Stim Pack, which like would hurt your guys. like for your
Yeah.
Marines, and then they had no medics to heal back up, so you just got Marines that are like a little faster but a lot less health. Like you'd lose like a ton of
Oh
your
man.
HP. But it was like one of the few games that that I like played competitively, I think at a pretty high level. But like I really it took up a big portion of my early high school, my freshman and senior year.
I
That
loved
rocks.
StarCraft, and I remember the first time I ever played it online, it felt like I thought I was good at the game, and I was like, oh no, I'm a toddler. Like
No, no, no.
I understand this game 0%. I
It,
played the entire campaign and I couldn't hold a candle to any other player.
I will say that this is like a personal personal preference, but I think it's like the hardest game
I
like
think you're
ever
right.
made.
I believe you.
Yeah, like competitively, I think it's like the hardest. Like people who are like the top tier StarCraft Brood War players, they're not human. Like I feel like this is like the hardest competitive game
They're
you can get good
basically
at.
they're acting as computers. They have hotkeys for like every action, and yeah,
Well,
that's insane.
I think like the average APM of like a StarCraft player is like 300, or
Is
like
that
high
actions per minute?
200. Yeah,
What the
That's
like
so
hell?
Oh my
wild.
God.
yeah, there was a guy I think like at the peak of it, there were people who were playing at like 400
Oh my
at like
God.
APM.
Dude,
Go
that's
Like
me
see a
on
chess
Guitar Hero
player.
3.
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. And on top of like the mechanics, you're also like there's like so much strategy like involved and like you have to like styles of play and
Crazy.
it's truly one of like the my favorite games to watch. Actually, I like watch it still, but it's
Did you ever
great.
mess around with the campaign editor? I was obsessed with that for a bit.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that's where like League of Legends, you could trace if you did your
Yeah, that's
due
so wild.
diligence.
I used to play people's
Mhm.
fan games. Like there was like a game called Who Killed Slim Shady that
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
remember like that I don't remember what the rules were and I just remember it being like a staple. I would play that online all the time.
Yeah, but if you can trace back like the League of Legends and what's the other one? The one
Is it Dota?
Dota.
Dota, you can
Yeah.
trace their lineage all the way back to like StarCraft 2 campaign
Crazy.
editor
Mhm.
games. It's like pretty wild.
Wow. StarCraft Brood War for Chuck at number 5. Ryan, we're back to you for Banana 3.
Yes,
Hell
sir.
I hope
yeah.
someone
Connor's
just
got
tuned in and is like, what the fuck?
it.
Ryan has his own system. My Banana 3, I would play this every day if they just continued making new content for it, and it's Rise of the Golden Idol.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Alec mentioned
Whoa.
screen games, and there's so many things I like about this. I love Obra Dinn, but I'm like the art style of Rise of the Golden Idol, and I played the what is the first one? Not Rise.
Curse?
Case of
Case
the
of the
Oh,
Golden
Golden Idol.
Idol,
case.
and
Yeah.
I think they
Mhm.
just improved a lot of UI stuff and whatever in the second. But uh, it's so great because there's so many games, very few games I feel like part of the design is like, hey, maybe think about it. Go to bed and wait, try tomorrow. Like I love like sometimes I get so hooked in where I'm just like it's all here. I can figure this out. And I'll ask for hints sometimes, but I'm like, I'll play it with my girlfriend, and it's just like it makes you feel like a detective in such a fun way. I really enjoy the sleuthing feeling, and yeah, it's just I really love it.
I love those games. Like, and also the art is amazing.
I
Like,
think
I don't know, they're
yes,
so grotesque and the weird stretching animations that they're doing. Oh my
yes.
God. And the writing's really good. Like the mysteries are one thing, but like the whole story that they tell is honestly some really good like alt history sci-fi.
I
It's really
agree.
interesting.
Gosh, what a good, deduction. Who knew it could be fun? That's incredible.
Well, yeah, between that
Banana.
and Obra Dinn, they're so fair too. Like I feel like deduction games before that were like point and click games where it was like really obtuse. There was one kind of impossible to figure out solution. And like
Yeah.
the distance we've come since then where you could actually like piece it all together and don't feel like the game's cheating you.
Yeah,
Really
totally.
remarkable.
It's
Gosh.
so hard to do good deduction. It's like making like good like detective movies or shows. Like
Hmm.
Hmm.
to be like ideally you want to be able to figure it out like as you're going if you like look closely enough and you don't want to be have some MacGuffin where it's like oh, this happened off screen, like, that you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
about, like, so it's like so hard to do well, and that game does it really
Yeah.
well. So,
Speaking of, makes me want to see the new Knives Out movie, which I haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah,
because
hell
I'm a
yeah.
stinky little AMC pass holder and it's not in those theaters. Uh, I should just go anyway. But Ryan, that was your third banana. I
Sure
believe we're
was.
at your peach too.
We are at Peach 2. Admittedly, things are probably going to get boring from here on out. But listen, you can't argue with my Peach 2 is Ocarina of Time.
Ooh.
Uh, I really just it's I wasn't a big Skyrim person. I feel like the sort of epic fantasy like experience that you can get in a game, this was my experience. It came at the right time in childhood where games largely to me were 2D Game Boy. Like this felt like the first whoa step into even aside from what I think is an incredible story and like just and it really there's a YouTube video that I watched recently that made me actually cry called The Subtext of Ocarina of Time. It's this beautiful video essay that's like an hour long. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. I just think it's goated for a reason, I think.
Yeah, this
Dude,
is one
yeah,
that
very, very good game.
yeah, what is there that can be said about it? But it was also kind of a pillar for me too, Ryan, where like gaming, it was at a time where gaming went from something that I did very casually to being maybe my primary hobby as a little kid. And
Mhm.
Pokemon was really influential, and it was the first step in that. Or Super Mario 64 was the first, then Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, and then Ocarina of Time because I just got to it a little late, and it just really changed everything. And I replayed it this year when I was kind of bored on the Switch Online service, and of course it looks like a total potato, like it looks pretty rough, but that game really, it's
I think
you
it's
can
still really
critique it.
beautiful. The
It
character models are so unique. Like, I don't know,
I
yeah,
still love it.
that's
Yeah.
because they make me feel like I don't know, those character models, if you made them in higher fidelity, you wouldn't get that same like I don't know, gut feeling you get from some of them.
kind of vibe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Ryan, have you ever played the Master Quest version of this game?
Uh, did that come out for like the
It
GameCube or
did.
something? I
Yeah, it
think we had
was
it, but I don't know if I
hard
ever
mode
played
and
it.
flipped, like the whole game's
Hmm.
reversed.
Whoa,
Whoa, what do you mean?
They like the game is mirrored. So everything,
whoa.
Oh,
yeah.
weird.
It as some I finally played that on the 3DS version of the game maybe 6 7 years ago, and it was honestly fresh enough of a take on it with there's some tweaks in the
The
dungeons and
dungeons are
puzzles,
different.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just enough to be like a fresh like experience for someone who had I've probably played this game like 25 times just because it goes down easy
Yeah.
now, but I
Mhm.
recommend checking it out if you're ever curious. But yeah, that's great. Your Peach 2 pick, Zelda Ocarina of Time. Chuck, we're with you for your number four.
also, my picks are going to start getting a little boring as well. But number four for me is Smash Brothers Melee.
Hell
The
yeah.
Ooh,
second,
Nice. Hell yeah. Let's
yeah,
go.
let's go. The second and last fighting game on my list. But yeah, Smash. It was like again, one of those things I played with my friends a bunch. Not very good at it, but did practice, try to figure out what wave dashes were, didn't get good at them. But everyone, has their like character and again, I like to play characters that were a little off, like
mm-hmm.
the beaten path. I mean, Samus, I like Samus, and Samus isn't like horrible, but that wasn't top tier. I like Ness in it.
Yeah,
Also, like not super like top tier, but yeah, I remember just like really liking the game. Played a bunch of it. Got like I think I got pretty decent at it. I would say I was like decent. Um, and I never didn't really play any of the other Smash Brothers after that. So like I'm so not used to
oh
using
yeah.
any controller other than a GameCube controller when I play it. So I get my ass kicked in all the other renditions of Smash Brothers because I keep pressing the wrong buttons. But yeah, Smash Brothers Melee.
Yeah, this game just it's the one I've definitely put the most time in the series. It had so much to it. Like it had event matches, an adventure, and a classic
Hmm.
mode.
Yeah.
Like all of plenty of other little extras too. And this happened in the first game, but it introduced me to even more characters that I just was like, who the hell are these
Oh my
Yeah,
guys with
God,
these
yeah.
yeah.
swords? And
I
it's a
wanted
Game
to
and
classic.
know
Watch.
everything about every character, like anyone that I had never heard of. I was like, tell me more. I want to play their games. Release them right now.
Yes.
Like
I that's an
the
amazing
best
pick,
ad ever made.
dude.
Yeah. I
Uh,
tr
before Ultimate came out, I watched for the first time this video of where they first showed the opening like cinematic to Smash Brothers to like a crowd of people at like presumably an E3 or something, and to hear the crowd explode. I remember watching it and I would got like teared up, and I think if I watched it now, that would happen again too. It's just it was amazing. It was explosive, but Chuck, that was your number four, Super Smash
Number
Brothers
four.
Melee.
Yep.
Alec, we're back with you for your number four.
All right, I'm gonna try to keep things exciting. I have some, I think maybe slightly out there top three.
Okay.
Not all of them.
Oh.
One of them is pretty conventional, but this one I guarantee isn't on anyone else's list. It's called Fading Afternoon.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I've talked about it before with you at least, Connor.
Yeah.
It is an indie game by this guy named Yeo, and he did another game called Ringo, what's it called? The Life Friends of I'm fucking up.
Oh, yeah.
The Friends of Ringo Ishikawa, yeah. And that was like a River City Ransom like game where you're sort of this aimless youth and you're given free reign of a little city, a la River City Ransom with like the branching alleys and stuff. And you could go to school like Persona, and you have a day, a calendar, and each day you could just like skip school, go to school, beat some thugs up from other gangs at other schools, go to the gym, work out. And it's really all about the ennui of life and what it's like to be a youth in revolt. And that game was amazing. And he put out a couple more games, and one of them was Fading Afternoon just a couple of years ago. And in this one, you're an aging yakuza who is kind of like this old legend who's not what he used to be. And it's got a similar sort of gameplay style with the River City Ransom beat 'em up like, but you also have a gun, and you're tasked by your old mob boss with going around and reclaiming territory as other gangs are sort of inching in on your gang, which is losing power. And this guy that you're playing is dying. You know that from the start. He's really not doing well. And it's he has like a life bar. This is one of the most genius design choices of the game, where you can see it would max out at like 999, but you're actually just at 500 because he's like not what he's you cannot go higher than that. And every day you go to sleep, it goes down a little bit.
Oh, wow,
So
that's cool.
that's how you can tell you're dying. So the game gets so much harder with every day because your life bar is getting smaller and smaller.
Whoa.
And then there's like little bits like you can get a loan and then probably not gonna be able to pay it back. And like what happened to me once is I was just in between some levels and the guys came to collect and just killed me. And then the game was over. And then like played another version of it. I was trying another run.
Whoa.
And at one point, like your rival shows up. He's this young up and comer who's pretty ruthless, and you get to play as him for a second. And he's got the full life bar, and he's got more moves. He's got a dash. He's got like a cool kick, and you're going like, oh my God, the game was like not simple because of limitations. It was simple like artistically. It's just such a good mission statement. It does so much to really put you in the immersive shoes of this aging yakuza. I've really never played anything like it. I feel like it's very
Very
poignant.
cool.
It made me feel a lot. And it's again, it's game by like one guy, and I think his dad helped him a little bit. Like it's a very
Cool.
strange setup. Yeah, this Russian guy who very misanthropic online. He hates criticism and deletes his Twitter all the time.
Oh my gosh. Fading Afternoon. Yeah, I've still not forgotten this one since you brought it up on a game of the year, whether that was 22 or 23.
I think it was
Um,
23. Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty recent.
gosh. Were you gonna say
Good
something,
game.
Ryan? Sorry.
No, sorry.
Oh, okay, no, you're totally fine. I'm like
I'm also
watching
going to
gameplay and got
apologize
distracted.
since we're all apologizing.
Good. Well, Alec, Fading Afternoon was your number four. I would love if you told me what your number three was.
All right. kind of alluded to this earlier with Rhythm Heaven, but my number three is WarioWare Twisted,
Ooh.
Cool.
Oh,
which, yeah, specifically, this is the one for the game. It was the second Game Boy Advance one, but it came with the gyrometer,
Yes.
and you could
oh,
tilt the game, and that's how you played some of the mini games. Like famously, there's one where you're supposed to shave a guy who has a beard, and you have
all
the
right.
razor, and when you tilt the Game Boy, it like moves the razor, and you're kind of like
Whoa.
rotating the guy's chin to shave it all.
Oh
And
man.
every game is like every WarioWare game does a really good job of making a lot of surprising choices with just one button gameplay. I guess a button and the joystick control pad, but this one in particular, by adding motion to it, just kind of blew everything wide open. You literally never knew what the game was going to ask of you. Some of them were just button presses with no motion, so it kind of lulls you into a sense of like, oh, cool, I don't have to do anything. And then, oh my God, I have to turn it upside down.
Yeah.
Um, it was a very interesting, active game. And I think the Wii one that came after also used motion, but I think it was a lot less successful in what it was trying to do. It maybe went for a little bit more than it could bite. There's too many different poses and they're not all clear and simple. WarioWare Twisted keeps it like as fresh as the original, but just blows it up. It's so
That's
fun.
crazy.
Cool.
Gosh, this is a game that I feel like unless you have a handheld system that has
You
like
need,
a
yeah,
you need the game
you need the
actually.
original actual game. I don't know. It's not a game you could easily emulate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's probably like $90 these days, so it's not easy to get a hold of. But like, if you can get it, it's one of the most fun games you'll ever play.
That series too
Awesome.
just like keeps on giving too. It's just so entertaining, so fun. It's hilarious. That's your number three. Chuck, we're back to you for yours.
All right. Actually, my number two and three are kind of like
Ooh,
about the same. They
go for
like
it.
move up and down. But I'll do the one that's on my
Okay,
sheet.
sure. They're
Well,
interchangeable.
interchangeable. Baldur's Gate 3.
All right.
I was a big fan of all the Baldur's Gate. I played one, two, three. I played Icewind Dale back in the day, Icewind Dale 2 when it came
Wow.
out. So I'm like a big fan of like this kind of game. I'm a big fan of Forgotten Realms, the world. So when Baldur's Gate 3 was announced, I had a lot of like high expectations for it. And they met all my expectations and even more. So I love the game. I'm a big fan of like Dungeons and Dragons. So like it like emulated Dungeons and Dragons really well. And yeah, I thought the storytelling was like really cool. You like love all the characters from varying degrees, I guess. Some people like ones more than others. I thought the amount of detail they put into it, like in terms of the decisions you make in the game, they really like tried to think of like everything a player would try to do in the game and make it feel like those choices had effects on the world, which I think is like the hardest thing to do for any type of role-playing game or RPG is make your small decisions feel like they like affect something. And I thought that they did a really good job with that. And then I just like it's one of the few games that I played like over and over again, and will always find like new things and always want to try a different way to beat it, try a different way to play it. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, not very exciting, but it's there.
It,
No, I get it. It's crazy what they did with that. Like
yeah.
I write video games for a living, and the thought of trying to wrangle what they did, it seems like it seems literally impossible.
It's
They
so
accounted for
overwhelming.
everything.
Yeah. Even
What
as
an
a
achievement.
player, you feel overwhelmed with like
Yeah.
all
Hmm.
the choices. Like imagine having to just like write even just the dialogue for like
Yeah,
everything. It's just so crazy.
and like you said, it literally comes down to they really tried to think of everything that you might want to do and account for it. It's like
Yeah.
there's no trick to it. They just did that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like super impressed with it. From like coming from a place someone who like played all the games from before. So I was like really, really love that game.
add it to the list of like my greatest shame over the last 3 years of a game that I just still have not touched. And every time tell that
Whoa.
to a fan, they're like, "What are you doing?" Uh, yeah, I really want to
It's a
play
hard,
this.
to be fair, it's a hard game to really sink your teeth into. It's gonna like eat up so much of your time,
Yes.
and I can understand how like intimidating it can be like
Yeah.
before you start
That's
a
I think
campaign.
what it kind of feels like is it's a game I want to play, but I'm like, oh, it's got to be the perfect time for me to do so. And when will that come? It's probably whenever I make
Mhm.
time for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I played it with like a friend. I did like a
Yeah.
two-person
Oh, cool.
playthrough. And that actually helps like because you like schedule a time to like just play a little bit. It'll take longer, but it actually moves really quickly because you have two people picking up stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's
picking
a
up
good
items.
couples game too. Like
Okay,
Yeah,
we
it's
had a
cool.
lot
really
of fun
good.
with it.
Awesome. Well, Chuck, that's your number three. Baldur's Gate 3 appropriately in that spot, even though it's interchangeable with whatever your number two is. Ryan, we are back to you for your Banana 2.
Pretty good segue into mine actually in the
Ooh.
sense of a game that is seemingly impossible that it was made. My Banana 2 is Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Um, the
Nice
fact
pick.
that this one person, a 2 was I think the better one for me. One dude made this is my understanding. I've actually played a little bit recently, revisited it. I'm like, oh, I could do this forever. It scratches a creative itch. It scratches I've done like a Planet Coaster. It's a little too many options to me. Something about the grid of like your path goes in right angles and like here's you really always kind of start with like a merry-go-round. Like there's a nice sort of like Zen experience. Like I lose hours because I start playing it and I'm like, oh my God, what if I built a volcano and then put a roller coaster that goes around it? Um, yeah, I think it's just so it also taught me about loans as a child.
Yeah.
A lot of
Uh,
games teach you about loans.
Sin
yeah, yeah.
City for me.
It's just so fun.
He wrote it all in assembly.
Which
Whoa.
I like
Yeah,
get YouTube shorts that tell me that. I don't totally understand it, but everyone talks about that as if that's like an insane thing to do.
it's a lot. Yeah.
Gosh, it's about time we get a roller coaster tycoon game on this list, on anybody's list. Ryan, it is at your two banana. Well, we're gonna stick with you for one more though, and I believe that brings us to your number one Peach
One.
game.
Yeah, this is boring, but it
Ooh.
really this is a game that if I didn't play it, I wouldn't have been interested in games. It was a game I played as a family. Really, the first video game I've ever when my family all played it. Christmas '96, Super Mario 64.
All
Nice.
right.
I don't really know what to say about it other than it made me. It had clearly such an emotional tie of like we played this as a family. It was very meaningful in that way. And it was also as a kid, like you don't know what good games are really. Like you don't have anything to bounce it off of. So the fact that this is one of my early experiences with it and it still kind of holds up today as a game like speedrunners are still like finding like things for. Um, it's just in a similar way to Roller Coaster Tycoon, it's like they create this sort of puzzle box and you get to go about it the way you wish, and it's really freeing and fun as a player.
You talking about that game, it's reminding me of, it's obviously very high on my list too, but it's reminding me of something that I love. I love both types of Mario, if you want to distill them to two. I love the 2D platformers, I love the 3D exploration based ones. And I think what really captured me about this first one, or 64 rather, Ryan, is that it was just it was, there was so much mystery to it. I wanted to see every corner of the castle because you would discover secrets and be like, well, if that's possible, what else is
Mhm.
possible? So, yeah, just an absolutely like I don't know if it's a timeless game, but it's incredible.
I
And
think it holds up.
yeah,
I played it recently with the intent to kind of I don't
be,
know,
knock it a little bit.
evaluate it. No, to
Yeah.
evaluate it from how does it feel now? And I
Yes.
played it and Sunshine, and I
Oh,
noticed
Sunshine.
that Sunshine kind of falls short in that it's building environments based on this it picked a tropical island. It's trying to make each area feel like semi-realistic or believable
Mhm.
area with the platforming grafted on. What 64 has that I noticed is every inch of that game is built around an interesting way to move Mario. And it's very abstract. Things don't often make sense geographically. But it doesn't matter because like every second you're playing, it's asking you to interact physically and gymnastically in a way that like is pretty novel and new for that genre. And going back to it, it still feels like a minute to minute, everything's interesting. Whereas like Sunshine, you start to be like, okay, this is actually fucking annoying to get from point A to point B.
Yeah. Yeah. There are things I really like about Sunshine, but there are a lot of those too, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I love
Uh,
Sunshine, but it's yeah, exactly.
well, Ryan, that was your peach number one. We'll move now to Chuck for Chuck, your number two on your
All
list.
right. My number two is Batman Arkham Asylum.
Fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that game. Yeah.
Yeah. I like all the Arkham games. I think the best one to me is Arkham City, but Arkham Asylum was like the first rendition of it, so it had like a bigger impact on me. Just because like I mean, we've all played Batman games before and like no or super game hero games in general. And I think this was the first superhero game I played that I was like, whoa, this is like a good game. Like, you know? But I really liked it. I think there was like one moment in it that like always sticks out to me.
Oh yeah.
Just I mean the fact that you can like, use all these gadgets and you're like being stealthy and there's so many different ways to like clear each kind of like level or stage. But the one was for me was like I think it was like a scarecrow thing, but
Yes,
you're in
nice.
asylum and you're like walking down and as you're walking down this hallway, it like slowly turns into an alley and you like it slowly like rain starts coming down and you know that you're affected by the scarecrow gas so you're like seeing your fear and you like slowly realize that oh this is like when his parents died like you like hear the gunshots and you hear like the sounds and I thought that was like such a well executed moment for a Batman game that didn't need to be you didn't need to have a moment like this you could just have a beat 'em up and like it'd still be good but like just that part of it and it just like really made you like oh wow this is like you're really they really like care about this character they want you to like really like like be immersed in like his world and so yeah Arkham Asylum yeah.
And doesn't Kevin Conroy voice him here? Did you already say that?
Yeah, yeah. He and my one of my like the anytime I hear Batman's voice, like when I read comics, it's like his voice.
Hmm.
So to have him and Mark Hamill as
Oh, that's
Joker,
right.
like
Yes,
like
nice.
have reprise their roles in like the game was such like a huge deal, and it really made the game like come to life even more, especially for people who grew up on like the animated series, like
Hmm.
So I was super stoked about that game. Thought they did a really good job, and I'm a big comic book fan, so it just left a lasting impression on me.
Number two, Batman Arkham Asylum. Alec, we would love to hear your number two, and I will speak for everyone.
Okay, thank you. My number two is Final Fantasy Tactics,
Ooh,
Ooh.
which
good
is back.
one.
It's back in the news. It's back in the news. With a nice little remaster. And I'll
Tactics
start by
is
saying
good.
the remaster is one of the best I've ever seen, especially Square. They usually really fuck up their remasters. They added voice acting,
Oh.
and I'll tell you this, it is worth the price for the voice acting alone. It really like
Oh.
that. So I'll use that to segue into the script, the story of Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the best written stories in video games, period.
Wow.
And it's this like really thoughtful meditation on, you know, it's a war story. You get this real history. If you want to, you can read some very long logs in the game that kind of explain the conflict leading up to the game's events. But you play as this soldier, a noble who has a common born friend and is sort of starting to learn a little bit about the corruption of the nobility that he comes from and this schism forms between him and Delita, your common born friend, and sort of the paths that you both take together over the next couple of years are they're beautifully told. It culminates in like one of the most interesting and well written endings to any RPG adjacent game. It's like a real gut punch and serious like oh my God, that's gonna make I'm thinking about that for years and years afterwards and what that means. Yeah, and from a gameplay standpoint, like if it didn't have all that going for it, like it would already be an amazing game just based on how it functions as a tactics game. I think it stands out among other tactics games in that the maps are a lot smaller and you have very much complete control over your units. You can use all custom units if you want. There are story units that are generally better, but then you can like level your guys up. You can break the game if you spend enough time just grinding and doing what you'd like. Or you can just play through it like normal and whatever you do, you're gonna find there's really interesting design choices with each of the classes and the size of the maps. It is probably as close as you can get to like a perfect game executing what it set out to do. It's just I love it. And the music's amazing. The art's amazing. There's so much about it. I can go on forever. Perfect game.
Did you already say if you originally you like started with the PlayStation 1 version?
Yeah, I played I didn't have a
Oh,
Oh no, he froze for a second. I didn't have a what?
PlayStation as a kid.
Oh,
So I
okay.
played it.
You caught up
Oh,
to
wait.
us. Sorry.
I'm back. Sorry.
yeah.
My internet. No, I played it emulated. I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, so I
Yeah.
played it emulated for the first time. Fell in love with it that way, and then I never got to play the PSP one, which I hear is great. But no, I literally would only ever play it emulated. Then I got a PlayStation. I would replay it on that, like on the
Yeah.
hardware, and then literally I just finished replaying it when they announced the remaster, and I was like, I don't, I'm like, I don't care. I'm gonna play it again right as soon as that comes out.
Yeah.
And the
Oh.
voice acting like breathes new life. It feels like the script was, you have this like Shakespearean drama just waiting to be read out loud for 20 plus years. And then finally, and they got like the best voice acting I've heard in a game in ages for this.
Wow.
Really
That's
good.
incredible. Well, I'm glad to hear that it's so great. I've tried the Final Fantasy Tactics Advance a few times, but I've not really given it a shake. I've like tried and then
Advance is not, just so you know, it's not the same game.
yes,
It's technically a sequel and it's a good game, but it's so strange because it's a game for kindergartnens. It's a good game, but the story is about like kids who get whisked into another dimension.
yes,
And it's not, I don't know. I think they did it that way because it's a Game Boy Advance game. They thought they had a different audience. So I would recommend playing the PlayStation one, but those are good too.
yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. Incredible. This was high up on the last version of this podcast that we did. I guess part 10 of the top 10 games of all time. It was on Nick Lee Moan's list, who you know. Truly, like I want to say it was like in his top 3, but
Beautiful. Smart guy.
it's your number 2, and I can't believe we're here. I gotta hear your number 1.
Oh my God. My pleasure. My number 1 is probably like, okay, I'm treating this as it is the most video gamey a game could be to me.
Mm-hmm.
My choice is Super Monkey Ball, the original for the GameCube.
Hell yes.
I think it's got like just everything you want out of a game. It's got a
Dude.
simple and compelling mechanic. Like if you plop a monkey and a ball in front of me with an obstacle course and tell me I have to tilt him to the exit, I'm gonna want to try to do that. Like there's like every fiber of my being is begging to play this game when it's presented to me.
Dude, not with 1,000 guesses would I have guessed this.
No, not me either.
And I think it deserves it. It's like, it's got I think there's like most of the sequels suck in my opinion. They really have not recaptured the magic. And they always try to like add a story to it. And I'm like, no, the abstraction of monkeys and balls in this like ethereal dreamlike space with drum and bass music pumping that's video games to me. I don't need
Yes.
don't try to explain what that is. It's Monkey Ball. I get it. Yeah, I love it. I loved it when it came out, and it has like a bunch of mini games. So like if you're kind of bored of just playing the arcade style like level by level layout, which I also just love a game that has levels.
Mhm.
That's like level 1, level 2, level 3, like there you go.
Yeah.
But then you can also play like Monkey Target is a great game in its own right, where you're just sort of rolling a ball down a hill, and then you open up the ball and you got wings, and you try to hit a number on a target. You have to
It's
land.
suddenly pilot wings.
Yeah, and it's like, and then there's
love
also just a racing mode. There's billiards, which is like a fully featured pool game in there.
Whoa.
It's got everything. I don't know. It's one every time I come back to, all I can think is this is the best game ever made. This is so much fun.
I
Alex,
And
love
I,
it.
yeah.
arc-wise, this is like Rosebud in Citizen Kane. This is just like you dropping a monkey ball on the ground.
Which is how I will die. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Incredible.
I recently
I
got to play the arcade version of it for the first
Ooh.
time, which is it was a slightly earlier version of the GameCube one, so the graphics are like a little different, but it's the
Mm.
same game. And playing it with like a joystick in the arcade and leaning, it's so visceral, it's so good. Like that's the way to play it. I wish I had that
Yeah.
machine.
Gosh, what a great
You should get that
title.
machine. Go for it.
I've
Yeah, put it
tried.
put it
They
right
don't,
next to
they're
the
like, there's like
Capcom.
four of them left in the US. They're like,
Oh no.
Oh.
a shitload of
Oh,
money. Yeah.
yeah, what a great game from Sega. I played in a GameCube launch title, or like at least launch window title.
Hmm.
And so I associate it with that, and I love one and two. I have them both, and I've like replayed them in the last couple of years. Alec, I love this pick for you so much. The
Thank you.
original
Thank you.
Super Monkey Ball. Um, we'll come back to you at the very end to recap your list, but Chuck, let's get your number one.
All right, my number one is I've talked about it last time. It's still there. It's
Oh,
Planescape Torment,
all
the
right.
game. I'm a sucker for like RPG, these kind of RPG games. But Planescape Torment I played when I was I think high school. Big gaming time for me, and it was the first like game that like made me ask like really deep questions. Because I must have beaten it like 4 or 5 times with like different classes, like different choices. It was the first time that like I felt like something I did in like the first act had like a small thing I did in the first act. I get to the third act and like all of a sudden I'm fighting a demon because I didn't deliver this mailbox to the right person. But it's like there's so many like the Easter eggs and secrets in it, and the main character was like so interesting. So the mechanic of it, the way the experience aspect of it is like you're basically a zombie that's woken up, that you don't remember your past, and you're trying to figure out who you are, and you realize that you've like lived like a lot of different lives. And as you like play through the thing, you start remembering like more and more about like what you did. You were like a psychopath in one life where you just killed a bunch of people. You were like a really like a good person in another life, like and it's like you're like learning about all these things, and you eventually like by the end of it like you have the choice to kill your past selves like or you can absorb your past selves and then like all the experience that comes
Hmm.
with it, and you like level up and
Whoa.
stuff.
Cool.
It's really cool. That was the really fun part, like kind of working the like a RPG mechanic into like like something that feels
I love that. Yeah, like
yeah
making the narrative pay off mechanically is
yeah yeah.
it's always the goal.
It was like super fun. All the side characters are like really great, and they all have like at one point you find this like kind of like this like living armor of like who's like lawful good and like all about justice. And if you choose the wrong ending, you have to fight him at the end because he's like you're not good enough, and then you have to like fight this like companion that you like had like
Oh.
the whole time. There's like so many different endings, but there's one part of it that stands out was like you're stuck in this maze and you run into this hag, this like night hag, and she like is someone from your past, and she asks you a question that's like, what can change the nature of a man? And and there's like so many options like to say. It's like, is it like money, greed, like nothing, like and I remember as like a freshman or something, I'm like, what can change it? I'm like asking myself like what
Thought
can change the
provoking.
nature? Yeah, very. I was like, what would change the nature of man? And depending on your choice, like the hag will do different things, but it was just like a really kind of like, and it like your different dimensions, and I was just like really loved that game. And sometimes I'll go revisit it like randomly and be like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna like go back, jump back in and play it again. But yeah, super fun.
Planescape Torment, number one on your list. I love it. Well, Ryan, we're back to you to finish things off for us. Give us your number one banana game.
If things were just, the number one banana game should be Monkey Ball. But a streamer that I like to watch describes this game as like if you paid in money, if you paid the price for this game, like the value you extract from it, the hours that you get from it, it's worth like a Honda Accord. And it's so true. It's my number one banana because I can see myself playing this in like an old folks home, like doing this daily. It's Slay the Spire. Um,
Oh,
it started as a game similar like Alec mentioned with Bloodborne, where I'm like, I don't understand what I'm doing. I've never like played a game like this. The cards don't make sense. It felt like doing Duolingo. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I just got my ass kicked, and it's the most hours I've put in any game. And I still haven't they have a difficulty system that goes up to like a thing they call Ascension 20, and I still haven't beaten it. I'm not like good at this game. I just love the process of doing the runs
yeah.
and it's challenging to me. My brother, I introduced it to him, and he's so much better than me at it. But we also share that bond where we'll play it and games like it. I think it's spawned a ton of games very similar to it in style in recent years. Um, and it's a small team. I think it checks every box for like, holy fuck, this is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that game. That's really
Oh,
fun.
very fun, super fun game.
You're making me want to go back and play it.
Yeah. It's gonna come out with a new one, right, next year?
I guess so.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, I didn't know
I think
that.
Slay the Spire 2 is gonna be next year.
Hell yeah.
I think I've really only given the Ironclad like a thorough experience or like slew of runs, but there's like I think in the first game at least five different styles that you can sort of play. Is that correct?
It's I
I think it
think
was
it's
three, maybe.
three. They add
Okay.
one, and I never was good at that one. But then there's like modders who are like just creating characters that you could
Oh, I didn't know about
Wow.
that. That's fun.
yeah, you could just totally play a pretty robust like they'll make like oh you can play as the villains and they create new
Oh,
cards and all
cool.
that. It's pretty sweet.
dude, what's stopping all of us from doing a little run on our own tonight?
Let's take a little break. We'll finish this up after we all do
Yeah,
a
we'll do
run.
the conclusion
Yeah,
after 3 hours of playing the game. Incredible. Slay the
very good.
Spire tops your list. And to end things, I'm just gonna have you guys recap your list from 10 to 1. If you don't have it in front of you, I can help you out with that. But Ryan, we're gonna start with you. I know unconventional list, but give us your two top fives here.
Yeah, my peaches, which is sort of just like incredible experiences I had with games, was Skate 3, Pokemon Go, Undertale, Ocarina of Time, and Super Mario 64. And the Nanners, games that I could play every day. Guitar Hero 3, Psychonauts, Rise of the Golden Idol, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and finally Slay the Spire.
I truly am so glad that you had an unconventional look at this. It really made added an extra little seasoning to this episode that we just don't have on these. So I love your list, and I love that you took the time to think of it this way.
Thank you.
You bet, Chuck. How about from you? For you, 10 to 1.
See if I got this right. It's Dino Brothers 2, Buster Groove, Metal Gear Solid, Halo 3, Tekken Tag, StarCraft Brood War, Smash Brothers Melee, Baldur's Gate 3, Batman Arkham Asylum, and Planescape Torment.
Incredible. And then finally, Alec.
All right, my number 10, I'll just summarize that one. It was the number two.
The number two in
I
general.
also
Well,
like what you did.
I'll say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Cave Story, Rhythm Heaven, Bloodborne, Link's Awakening, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Fading Afternoon, WarioWare Twisted, Final Fantasy Tactics, and finally, number 1, Super Monkey Ball.
Incredible. You three have done the impossible task. You've listed, in a way, each of you, your top 10 favorite games of all time. This is awesome. To close out everything today, I'm going to let you guys plug anything if you'd like people to find you on the internet, if there's anything that you've been up to that you want people to watch or a social media handle you want them to follow you at. Alec, I'll start with you. What do you have to plug today?
You can follow me online. I'm Alec Robbins, and you can, I don't know, it's at Alec Robbins on most social media. I have a comic book called Mr. Boop you can buy That's about me being married to Betty Boop. I have another comic book called
Speaking of
Crime Hot.
timeless, that's timeless.
That's timeless. It's timeless and even more timely because Betty Boop is entering the public domain next year, and I had a little jump start on that and got into some legal scares. I'm not going to say trouble, but before we put out the book, I have another comic called Crime Hot, which is essentially sci-fi pornography, but it's also just a good comic. You can buy that as well. And I have a game coming out that I worked on called High on Life 2 that comes out in
cool.
February, and you can enjoy some talking alien guns, and I voice a character in the game. You can hear me.
Wow.
Incredible. I can't wait. I'll put, by the way, everything listener that is being plugged right now is going to be in a link in the show notes. So scroll down and you'll find it. Chuck, do you have anything to plug today?
You can follow me at Chuck Ma on Instagram. It's ChuckMaa, 2 A's. And what can I plug? Going on you can come to Cage Match at UCB. We currently have a run with my team on that. We're the team with all the Asian guys on it. But please come and watch. I have a D&D show that's running at the Outside In Theater if you're in Highland
Awesome.
Park. I think we're planning on doing it every month. So come to that. It's called Dragons AF. Go watch Leverage Redemption. I wrote on a season of that if you want to. Yeah, let me get some residuals from that. That'd be great. And aside from that, yeah, that's about it for me.
Kick ass. And then Ryan Creamer.
Check out Game Changers, show on Dropout that I write for Comedy Game Show. If you like British panel shows, that kind of vibe, it's like that, and I think it's a fun time.
Hell yeah. Well, once again, fellas, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I'm just going to close this podcast out with some plugs of my own. The cover art for Call Me By Your Game is done by Glenn J. You should check out his Instagram and add a link in the show notes. The editing, the producing, and the musicking is done by Jeremy Schmidt. So give him a thank you if you see him out in the world. You can follow Call Me By Your Game on Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube as well. So if you want to, watch a full video version of this, which truly I recommend watching the video version if you. I guess at the end of the podcast, I'll say that because there's some great
Go
visual
start it
elements.
over.
Yeah, it's worth
You'll get
watching
something
it
out of
again.
it. Yeah.
Come on.
Redo it.
Do a Slay
Yeah.
the Spire run or Super Monkey Ball and rewatch this. But give us a sub there. You can watch all of our episodes come out on video, including some bonuses that are usually Patreon exclusive, but the video versions I release about a week after they come out. So check us out there. Check me out on Blue Sky and Instagram if you'd like as well. And then finally, again, if you're still here and you want more bonus video game podcasts from me and the makers of the show, check us out at 2 places. Patreon.com/SuperNPCRadio. If you're like, hey, we want to throw a few bucks to these people and get some bonus video game podcasts like our current Games Club series, which as of last week, when this episode comes out on Friday, our Silk Song Games Club will have concluded. We're recording the finale tomorrow, episode 11, and then coming up next January, we're covering Fire Emblem Awakening. But if you want to listen to our past Games Club series, we release those for free eventually. And right now, coincidentally, our original Hollow Knight Games Club is airing at the Super NPC Games Club feed. Find that wherever you get your podcast, and the one coming after that is going to be the original Death Stranding. So check out all that stuff and a link in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Call Me By Your Game. We will see you on the next one.